So in this series, we completely rebuilt this B16A from the ground up with all the clearances like the bearings, even ring gaps, and of course assembled the whole complete engine, upgraded with the CTR pistons and ITR cams. So this is gonna be really fun as the engine is finished right now. As you can see here, it's all done. We will drop it into the engine or to the car itself. Here it is. Yes, and as soon as the intake manifold was done welding, we dropped it in. So of course now it's all ready. Yep, and it's gonna be your favorite. We're gonna be ready to compression test. Yep, we compression test before startup. So let's go. This was a fresh engine to start with, so that was really good. As we disassembled it, cleaned it, had it honed and decked, and here it is. Look at how clean that is, right? So, hey, we went straight to assembly, and here it is. We're gapping the rings on episode 3. So, you gotta check out the whole series because it's loaded with good information. And here we are now. We all double check the ring gaps and of course prep the pistons. As you see, brand new CTR pistons and it's installed now here. Look, it looks really good and the honing finish is just so good here. You can see that. We even checked how much the piston sticks out above deck. And then on the members only video, we talked about how we shaped or cleaned up the chamber. We just contoured it and removed all the edges. So that has a full video on the members only section, all about the combustion chamber and of course the intake manifold and all that. And here's the intake manifold. It's all ready and done. It's actually improved now. We're trying to get the most we can on the induction side. This way the ITR cams can actually perform really good. And hopefully it can reach 180 wheel horsepower. That's the goal. So we might fall short, but that's okay because this is just a really good B16. It's a street car, full exhaust, and of course here it is, all finished up. There you go with the dyno valve cover that we used. We used it for the dyno because we chopped off the timing side or the cam gear side. This way adjusting it is easy. And once after the dyno, we return all the plastic covers. Everything else is gonna be cool and clean as OEM. And of course, the manifold got welded. Here it is. And let me talk about this. Because this is mainly for the locals. Because the locals sees the price list that we have at the page. But then they also talk about how much I can lower my price and all that. The difference here, Anton knew the project that he wanted. He knew the work that he needed. So when he decided to go with the project, he just went with the price that's listed there. And that, my friends, we give extra freebies. Like this throttle is free. I added it up, including injectors, but we still can't find the injectors that we're gonna use. So now we installed the stock injectors that he has for now because this is gonna start like this, no problem. But he's gonna run a 310cc injector. So that should be more awareness for the locals. Like you might or might not get a discount if we can afford it or not. But one thing's for sure is we are no longer obligated to give you a freebie or whatever because this we do this for a passion. But when you start taking it like that, we're no longer obligated to give you extras, right? But like Anton, he didn't even ask for a discount or whatnot. He knew the price was fair and he just jumped at it. And so, hey, it's our turn to return the favor. So we're giving him a free 70mm throttle and a free 310cc injector. What's up, right? As you can see here, we painted the intake manifold stealth black to match the black thermal wrap on the header, so that's gonna look good, right? And if you remember on episode 1, we compression tested the B16 or this B16 before this assembly, and it was 225 to 230 psi on all four. And now it hasn't run yet, so mind you, this is 0 miles, so as the more miles we get, the higher it will get before the dyno. Okay, now let's go with piston number 1. Let's go. Oh, 200 psi. Okay, now piston number 2 or cylinder number 2. Oh yeah, 200 psi once again. Okay, now number three. Okay, we had again 200 psi. So the last one, number four. Let's go. Okay, perfect. This hasn't even started up or hasn't even run, so and it's 200 psi. So something tells me this is gonna be way over 235 psi after a few thousand after a few hundred miles. Sorry. So this is gonna be a fun thing to dyno. So I can't wait to start it up and of course drive it around, get some miles up, and let the rings seat in well to the bores. So yep, this is gonna be fun. Of course, and we will compression test before the dyno. So we will see on that. Okay, not seen in the video, but a little later we install the intake pipe, the carbon fiber Tsuchinoko intake, and then proceed to start up. We'll check all the connections, including the injectors, and it's gonna be all good. And yes, the engine bay looks really, really clean and good. If there's just something with an EG engine bay with the B series, it's like a match made in heaven. It just looks really good and clean, right? Look. Okay, now we can go with the startup. Here we go. Good ignition. Alright. And also here, you gotta be aware. We're actually running the stock box, so it's gonna light up the check engine light for the O2 sensor because we installed my wideband. So because the rechipped box is still on its way. Another thing to note is check the oil light because we compression tested this, so that actually primed the oil pump. So now the oil light will just go off as soon as it starts or it idles. Pay attention to that. That's why we do what we do, because it hits two birds in one stone. Okay, now let's go with the startup. Hopefully it runs. Oh yeah, all right, that's pretty good. It's cold start, so it's gotta be rich. But let me show you the wideband. The check engine light is for the O2 sensor because we installed the wideband of the sensor. So but when we install the chipped ECU, it's gonna be all good. All right, here, all there. But look at that, it's 14.7 to 14.8 air fuel. But this is supposed to be running rich because it's cold start. So that's because the compression went way higher or went up. Cool. So for now, we're gonna run this for a few heat cycles just to make sure the fan goes on and everything is good. There's no leaks, and then of course we're gonna drain the oil and put the new set of oil because this is a startup oil. There's too many debris there. If you don't change it, it just shortens the lifespan of the engine. Hey, and plus, it's just extra oil. All right. So, and of course, then we're gonna start tuning it. So we're gonna have to idle this a little longer. So let's go with that. And we observe on the wideband and everything else. Just make sure everything is running really good. My colleague is actually by the engine bay and checking it up if there's some random leaks or whatnot. This way, if there's something's off, you can shut it down right away. Yep, it's pretty consistent. And look at the idle. It's pretty cool. It's idling very stable. Oh, and now I can't wait for the dyno. I bet this would sound really, really good. And of course, we'd definitely hear more VTech, right? Yep, oh, I can't wait to tune this. I bet this is gonna be responsive on the streets, so it's gonna be so good. Let's go back to the wideband here. Oh, it's still stable. Rev it, yeah, it's still good. Yep. And so let's look at start it from the outside now. Start up. Yeah, see. Oh yeah. Now this is gonna be really, really good. The engine been looking clean and looking good. Of course the strut bar is still not yet installed, but we're gonna install that in a little bit. Yes sir, yes sir. Oh, this is gonna be fun. And of course, when we start speed tuning this, of course, I'm going to definitely document it so that you guys can get a bunch of onboard runs, and we'll try to show you a little bit extra, just so it's going to be a good content. So we try to do that, try to improve the content each and every time. That's why you notice on this series, each episode did a lot of things, and so the series got shorter, but the each episode has a lot of good stuff like this, right? So of course, next episode we're gonna have documentation on the onboard tuning and everything else, and of course we'll make it into a one episode including the dyno. So that'll be all together. This way, the last and final episode is gonna be really excellent because it has a dyno and of course the results. So hopefully we reach the goal, right? I mean, if it falls short, that's not so bad. We still tried, but hey, the ending would have a link to the first episode. This way you can binge watch. But of course, when the next one is done, you can always click it here because you know you would want it, right?